if the dog is humping you or your husband while you're having sex, then the dog thinks it's number one. A lot of them would love dogging in a car park. This woman lasers for a living. Do you understand that some of them are inside out? Dear Katherine, I recently told my 2.5-year-old that if he didn't get out of the bathtub, he would turn into a fish. And if he was a fish, he would have to live alone in the ocean without his friends or family, and now he refuses to go for a bath. Do I tell him I lied, or do I make up another lie to get him in the... Someone has to date this man one day. He's gonna grow up and be unleashed on the other men and women of the world, and someone is gonna have to put up with the damage that you are creating now. It's cute enough to say, oh, if you stay in the bath too long, you'll be a fish. Why? Why did you have to add the very sinister layer that you were gonna flush him down the toilet and he was gonna go have to live in the ocean without any friends? Who hurt you? Just keep it at, you turn to a fish, okay, out of the bath. Because, you know, that's a cute lie, but the sinister layer, that is on you. Dear Katherine, our dog started to hump me whilst me and my partner were having sex the other night. We've always had an active sex life, good for you. And we have sex regularly, but my dog has never done this before. I'm worried the dog has started something and will continue to do this from now on. What should I do? I mean, how old is the dog? Because they do reach an age of sexual maturity. This is both male and female dogs, by the way, because the animal kingdom is very progressive and it's all about dominance. You can have this dog spayed or neutered. That is what a responsible pet owner would do anyway. Or you can just lock the door. Why does the dog have to be in the room? If the dog is humping you or your husband while you're having sex, then the dog thinks it's number one and you are number 2 and 3. And there will be other behavioral issues to follow. You need to pin that dog down. And I don't advocate humping the dog, but this dog needs to understand that it's number 3, or else it's gonna be out like eating chickens and doing all sorts of really antisocial things. Lock the door, get some discipline in your household. Next. Dear Katherine, my son got a bad cut on his toe, and as normal, it scabbed over. Great. Really, really encouraged to hear that your son is not a hemophiliac. Thank you for writing me. For some odd reason, he got really attached to the scab, and one night, as I tucked him into bed, it had fallen off, and he started screaming the house down. So to calm him down, we searched the floor until we found it to get him to stop crying. I lied, telling him if he put it under his pillow, the dead skin fairy would come to collect it and give him money. It's been 2 weeks now and he keeps trying to pick people's scabs. How do I stop him from peeling dead skin off? Well, you call the police because this is a little serial killer that you've got in your hands. I'm really sorry to say, but it's good that you caught it early. And maybe he seems like a nice person in a lot of other areas of your life, but this kid is very dangerous and his obsession with dead skin is something that I would flag straight away. But I don't know why we placate our children with this series of lies, especially about fairies, because it's just very upsetting. There's a similar attitude with the dummy fairy. When we want children to get rid of pacifiers, you go, oh, the dummy fairy took it away. And that just sets them up for a life of anxiety. Like, who is this fairy? Why did she break into the house, steal my favorite thing? Oh, and by the way, she's coming back for all my teeth. That's very scary for a small child to hear. I would just be like, listen, I know you like the scab because it came from you and it's a very good thing that you can heal when you cut yourself, but certain things are for the bin and certain things should be saved. And we are not a household that saves dead skin. That's my final answer. You don't always have to be your child's friend. You'd be like, this is in the trash, along with your Uncle Martin that we don't let come over anymore. Dear Katherine, I recently started a strict diet. Ugh. And I made my husband join me on it, but I've been secretly storing sweets in the car. And a few days ago, I was leaning down to grab some sweets when I hit a massive pothole and ruined the front of the car. The garage say it'll cost around £1,000 to fix, and my husband has been asking me what happened and why I didn't see it. Should I confess or keep the lie going? Thanks, Sue. Keep the lie going. You don't have to tell your husband the truth ever, as far as I'm concerned, about such things. Minor intricacies of your life, like car crashes and cheap diets. But I hope this is a lesson to you for the future, that crash dieting is not good for you, especially when you rope someone else into it. Your husband, he was happy eating salami or whatever it was and sweets. Just leave it alone. We don't all have to have an Adele transformation. Just do what you want. And this shows that low blood sugar leads people to make very dangerous compromises. I cannot believe you haven't learned this lesson. I expected the end of your letter to be like, and so after the car crash, which by the way could have really seriously hurt you, I decided that depriving myself of something as innocent as sweets is ridiculous and we're off the diet. And don't be on another diet, and definitely don't tell him the truth about the car. There are certain things that you can lie to your husband about, and money is number one. Hey, Catherine, I'm a single mom to two beautiful children. Well, don't judge their looks just yet, because do you know what? Beauty fades. Beauty comes and goes, and I was not a beautiful child, but look how beautiful I am now. So even if you have a third ugly child, you should love it just as much. I have recently started dating again, but I like 2 different men. Should I indulge and date them both secretly, or should I be honest and hope they are both okay with it? Oh man, and you haven't given a name, obviously, because you're a bad person. You can't have secret relationships, and I'll tell you why, is because that violates the first rule of dating, consent. If you are banging 2 dads, then you are leaving both of them open to hurt feelings, STIs, and they are not in an empowered position to consent to banging you. Now, a lot of them, especially on these apps at our age, they're not looking for an exclusive, monogamous, meaningful relationship. A lot of them would love dogging in a car park. So the odds are in your favor that if you're very honest with them and you say, I'm just looking for hard WAP sex and I want to have it with multiple people, we live in a modern world and I think they'll be into it, but you must not participate in any trickery. Congratulations on all this sexual interest, and I hope it goes well for you. Thanks for writing in. Hi, Catherine. I have been using OnlyFans for a few months now, and selling my feet pics on there is now my main source of income. Ha! However, there's always a however with the foot people. However, the guy I recently started dating is uncomfortable about it and wants me to stop. Do I cut the guy out or the toe pics? Thanks. And you've given your name, but I'm not going to say it. All right. Any man in your life, especially if he's a recent addition to your life, has no business messing with your money. Does this man propose to match the income that you're making from OnlyFans? And if so, are there strings involved in that donation? I don't like giving him that kind of power. You have found an income source, as a lot of people have, especially in the current state of the world, with OnlyFans. If you feel comfortable stomping on flowers, I don't know, just really making wine with your dirty feet, maybe doing different colors of toenail, I too am a favorite of the foot people. So I know what it's about. I don't really feel like you're compromising yourself. And if you like doing it, then that's what you have to do. Be true to yourself. Always commit to authenticity first, money second, men last. There will be other men. You don't need this one who's harping on your business. It sounds to me like he can find a nice woman who wants to follow his rules, and this can only end in a bad way if you don't cut him loose first. So take some more photos and make that paper boo-boo, as they say in France. Dear Catherine, I decided to get laser hair removal all the way from back to front. She's talking now about her asshole, perineum, vagina, and like back to front. That's what that means. She's not talking about any neckline. She's talking about a Brazilian / Hollywood, no pubic hair. Straight away, I have some issues with that. I'll read on. So I booked in some sessions As the lady was sticking the laser near my asshole, she decides to compliment my wedding ring. However, me forgetting I was wearing it, assumed she was complimenting my asshole and replied with, "Thanks, it will look much better hairless," to which she just went silent. I'm now mortified, but I have a follow-up session next week. Should I still go? Oh, what is with British people being mortified all the time? This woman has seen like what you had for breakfast. She has seen the most vulnerable physical part of you, and you're mortified about something that you said, which by the way, you could have easily passed off as a joke, because that is really funny. If someone goes, "Oh, that's a lovely ring," and you know what she means, but you flip the direction and you go, "Oh yes, it'll look even better." That's hilarious. You need to have more confidence in yourself. Hopefully this childlike vulva that you're going for some damn reason gives you that confidence, because you just made a funny joke, whether you liked it or not. You are hilarious, and never be mortified. This woman lasers assholes for a living. Do you understand that some of them are inside out? Do you know that? So don't be mortified. She's seen it all, and it will just brighten her day to have someone making a joke. These people who work in aesthetics, they're very funny. They have to have a sense of humor to do it. So should you remove all your pubic hair? Look, if you want to. We're all suffering from like years of weird pornography, and I don't know. I don't have any hair there either, so I can't say anything to you. It is cuter.